Bed. Love.
Bed.
Bed.
Love. Beyond.
Bed, love, beyond. Bed, love, beyond. Welcome to Bed, Love, Beyond, the podcast for the hopeful and the hater in us to discuss sex, love, and whatever's clever with like-minded people like you who are also in limbo with love like us. I'm Jennifer, and we have a new co-host as promised. April, it is you. You have been chosen. Miss April Speaks is now my full-time co-host.
Hey, guys.
Add Martini's applause because I don't know how to do that. So yeah, the podcast will be like Martini sat that day, kind of bare bones. Martini was the genius behind a lot of the editing stuff. So, just bear with us. But the topics are still going to be awesome. The conversation is still going to be awesome. And
we are awesome.
And we're awesome.
Yeah.
But since April's only come on as a guest a couple times and not given her whole life story, which is up to you whether or not you want to do, I figured we would do some quick icebreaker questions so people can get to know fun facts about you.
Fun.
Yes, you can always pass if it's like too much.
Oh my goodness, I'm sweating.
It's from a Forbes article, so I don't think Forbes gets like too personal. First question. I'm only gonna do like 6 or 8. I don't know, some odd number.
6 or 8.
Only the good ones. Okay, so what's your favorite book?
The Autobiography of Malcolm X.
All right. What's your favorite word?
Wow. I don't know.
You can get back to us on that.
Yeah, I have to think about that one.
If you could change your name, what would it be?
Autumn. I don't know why.
What the fuck?
I don't even know.
As if
that's one of them.
As if April bothered you, you went with like another.
Or Jade.
Jade's
I've always
cool.
liked the name Jade. Yeah.
What's the first career you dreamed of as a kid?
Actress.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't have the guts.
I think you do.
Maybe in my older age. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going in this audition. But as a kid, I'm like, what if they don't like me? What if I don't do well? You got all that stuff get you.
This question I think is funny because I remember having a conversation with you once and you hated them. But what is your most used emoji?
That like little side eye. Where it's like the person looks a little like annoyed and disgusted.
Is it the one where he has like the hand like on his mouth like or no?
No hand. It's just kind of like a snarl and the person's looking to the side. Well, the emoji's looking to the side. I always use that.
I remember once you were like, I'll never use emojis. They're stupid. I don't understand them. What the fuck?
I remember that. And that sounds like something I would say.
I was like, look at April using these emojis.
Yep. It grew on me.
What is something you've done that made you feel extreme happiness?
Extreme happiness? I don't know. I give it to Kai. Not the birth part. Not happy after the birth part.
You're like, I made this.
Yeah. I'll give him the top spot on that one.
Okay, and last question, where is your happy place?
The bookstore. The bookstore. Doesn't matter which one. Preferably used ones, but it doesn't matter.
You like
any bookstore.
You like the ones that like smell like
books. And I like the way the library smells too.
I can see you like getting married in a library.
Why it smells? You know where they do that? Strand.
Do they?
They have a room with like first editions or something, and I think you can. I don't know if people get married in there, but you can like rent it out.
Did you ever see the Sex and the City movie? I think it was the movie, right, where she gets married. One? I think so. Where she wants to get married in like the New York Public Library or something.
Because that's where they went, right, with the big steps.
I think so.
Is that where they were? I remember. I don't know if I knew that was the library. Huh.
I'm pretty sure it was. I could be totally wrong. I don't remember.
That is how the front of the library looks, though, in New York, with the big steps and the big columns. And there is a branch that looks, I guess the main branch does look like that.
So that's all I'm going to ask you. The rest we'll figure out about you as we go along. That's kind of works. Anything new and interesting going on in life? Kill anybody at work today?
No, not yet. I came close though. Because what happens is parents can come in and register their minor children without the child present.
Mm.
So what a lot of parents do, they come and they have to give us their ID.
Mm-hmm.
They come in, hand the ID, and don't say nothing. So I'm putting in their date of birth. I don't see you. Where's your appointment? Oh, it's for my kid. Okay. How was I supposed to know that?
Right.
Where? How? So that sends me over the edge, but I got out of there with no bodies. I didn't catch a body today.
That's good. I don't think anything new is in my world. I did decide, I don't know. I feel like somewhere along the line, like, I believe in karma. So, like, I was like, I don't know. I felt it would be, like, the right thing to do to, like, text my restraining order person's mom and just extend my condolences.
Mm-hmm. That was nice.
That's it. I just didn't, because, like, the memorial thing happened and my mom was going to go. And then, like, she pissed me off, like, the weekend before because I, like, went to the house and, I don't know, I feel like my mom does things to, like, invoke an emotion sometimes. So she, like, played, like, some voicemail from him. And I was like, why are we discussing this? Like, I don't want to, like, even talk about it.
Right.
And I was like, I was leaving anyway. I was like, goodbye, you're annoying. And I walked out. That's the kind of relationship we have. And I didn't talk to her for a couple days.
She just randomly said, play.
She was like, oh, I wonder if I still have it. And then she's like, listen to this. And I'm just like, you're like a freaking old bonchicetta, like, gossiping woman. What is your problem? I was so mad. I was just like, I don't understand you sometimes. Like, my mom's like the person who's like, ooh, car accidents, let's watch. Like, so it was just like, that was annoying. But I was like, you know what? I think it's the right thing to do. Like, my mom decided not to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think it's the right thing to do. And I just sent her a quick text. And I was like, I heard about so-and-so. I'm really sorry. I was like, you know, I did care about him a lot. I was like, despite everything. And I do hope that you and the family find peace. And then she just wrote back, I know you did. Thank you. I was like, okay. I'm done.
Right.
Like, we're good.
Right. And at least you kind of, like, waited a few days.
Right, for all
thought
the
about it, and then was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I just, like...
So it came from a good place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate her. I didn't hate him either, so I just kind of felt like it was the right thing to do. So, that's that. I didn't even tell you guys what the episode was about today. This is why I need martini sometimes. So today's episode is episode 120. I named it, What's Good for the Goose is Not Always Good for the Gander, which does not mean what it means in its natural term. We're talking about dating at a certain age. So the goose being like a younger person and the gander being an older person. So that's what we wanted to talk to you about today because, I don't know.
or a rich person, or it could mean too, like, oh, you know, you see somebody else with their rich husband and think, oh, I need a rich person. I need a rich husband or a rich woman or a rich... not always going to work out the way you think.
My grandma used to tell me, she's like, you could screw for the rich as easy as you could screw for the poor. I was like, I don't even know what that means.
Old folks be coming up with some stuff and you just like, it takes you like 10 years before you're like, oh, I get it now.
I get it, but like, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, you could take that a lot of ways though.
Right. And I'm just like, or I can make my own money and just work it out like that. I'm like, whatever. Okay. It's like one of those things, like, what are things your grandma taught you?
Mm-hmm.
That, and since she was divorced like a bunch of times and married the same guy twice, she used to always say, just do it till you get it right.
Mm-hmm. Basically, that's what that's like the motto of life.
Right.
That's what we are pretty much doing every day.
Right.
Just doing it till you get it right. So marriage is no different. Dating is no different.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do think that the age thing does play a big factor into it. Like, I think even thinking about, like, conversations I had with you, like, April may be the younger one, but I think she's the wiser one. And I don't know how she didn't slap me a couple times in the 10 years that I've known her. But, like, I think, like, when I was, like, 28 versus 38, like, certain things, like, didn't matter to me. I was just like, oh, I don't
28
care.
to 30. Like, how old were you when I met you? 30? I think so. No.
What year was it?
You might have been 28.
I think so.
2008. That was 10 years ago. What were you, 29?
Yeah, 29.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I met you in your little
Transitional
your little
period. Everything before 35 was a shit show. I'm pretty sure of it.
I don't even think I knew you was 29. I don't know. Probably.
I don't know. But what the hell's going on up there?
I thought it was thunder.
So yeah, so I think like when I was 29 or 28, like I was just like, yay. If he like wants to go to the club with me and go party all night, we'll have fun together for the rest of our lives. Which is like really weird because I passed like home place today and I was like, oh, that's where it all began for me. Like I moved out at 23 with my boyfriend of 7 years and we moved to home place in Lodi, New Jersey. And I was like, this is what life is about. And then, like, I was like, we're going to cook meals together. And I don't know what the hell happened to him, but as soon as, like, he got too comfortable, he was just like, yeah, I'm not coming home ever. And then it all went downhill. And then I was like, wait, I don't need to be a housewife. I can be out there going to the club and living life. And then I just started dating below my moral grade.
I remember, I don't know what happened. Something happened and I got really mad, I think. And I was like, he's not this and he's not that and he did this. And you're like, well, he's not a crackhead. I'm like, what? That's the only thing you could think of that he is not. So he's everything else. Oh, my. I remember sitting there like.
Are you talking about Brooklyn?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
And we was in the car. Something happened. And I was like, I don't know what I said. I'm like, well, he did this and he did this. He's like, but he's not a crackhead. I was like, what? I'm done. I don't know. I can't even got no response to that. I guess not. Oh, I guess he not. I guess we can roll with that. Oh,
I mean, I'm sure you dated people like when you were younger that you were like, now if you look back, you'd be like, yeah, I don't know if I would have given him like as much of a chance.
Oh, no. None of them.
None of them.
I wouldn't have gave. I mean, I met a couple of nice guys that I kind of like. I ain't played them out. I kind of just didn't really. I don't want to say value them either, but I mean, I was really young, so I kind of was just like, oh, he's nice, but
You're like, yeah.
But most of them.
But your opinion about men has changed, I think. I think you've been more like, I don't want to say forgiving, but you're
more understanding.
More understanding,
yeah.
Before
but
she'd be like, he's 5 minutes late and never talking to him again.
Yep.
Like, damn.
Like I'll call you back. Nope, don't bother. It's okay.
She just didn't care.
Yeah, don't bother. You don't have to call back.
How do I get like that? How does that happen?
I'm like, I guess you can call back. I guess.
Like, if I'm bored that day, I'll pick up.
Yeah. I told a kid that once. He never called again.
What'd you tell him?
This Dominican kid I met in college. I was like, don't call me, I'll call you. Never call. And one day I felt bad, and I remember you had, was it AIM Messenger? AIM? Yeah. So that's how I, hit him up. And, you remember you could see when somebody signed on?
Yeah. The little door open?
Yeah. So, and it had been a while since I signed on. So I signed on, and I saw him. His screen name was like Dominican Freak or something. And he signed on, and I was like, hey. So then we met up again, and it was like, and he was like, you're not a nice person. I think he met up with me just to tell me off. Yeah. And I was like, dude, you're such a girl. Maybe that was a sexist thing to say too, since we're talking about sex. Well, no, not yet. But he was like, still mad about it. I'm like, oh, sorry.
I'm sure he got over it.
Yeah.
That's the guy that enough girls hurt them, and then all of a sudden they become poppy player number one.
Yep. I was like, I hope I didn't add to him becoming a jerk.
And they're like, he's like that one girl, April.
Yeah, told him, don't call me. She'll call me, what a bitch. You remind me of her. Don't ever call me again.
You remind me of her. So I read this, I skimmed the article because I don't really read articles, let's be honest. And it was an article about difference between dating in the 20s and 30s. And it says, and you can tell me if you agree or disagree with any of this. So it says, when you're dating in your 20s, you're looking for fun dates. Mm-hmm. And when you're dating in your 30s, you're looking to settle down.
I can see that when you're in your 20s, you're looking for somebody fun.
Right.
I guess so, in a way. 30s, you're looking for somebody a little more stable, maybe somebody that wants a commitment.
I don't
I
remember.
can see that.
I don't remember who it was, which is really funny because when we ran into our friend who works with you over there at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Who's this boyfriend? Does he have a car? Does he have a job?" And I was like, "What do you remember from me from our old job? What the fuck?" And like, I don't remember who it was. It might have been like Heather or somebody who was like, she was like, "Does he have a bank account? Does he have a checking account?" And I was like, "What?" And at the time, I think I was dating Brooklyn, and I was like, "I don't know if he has a checking account. That's a really good question. He keeps his money in a Nintendo." I was like,
Probably not.
probably not. I was like, I didn't think about any of this, but now, like, I'm like, do you have a job or a career? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Like, or is this job like sustainable enough, or
Do you have any accounts?
do you have any account?
Do you know what an account is? Can you read?
Can you balance a checkbook?
Right.
Can you
add and subtract?
It says compatibility in your 20s. You want someone like who's going to be exciting, and then in your 30s, you want someone who has direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could happen too in your late 20s. You kind
Yeah.
of start to look for that sort of thing after you dated all the fun, hot guys. And then you realize, all right, fun and hot is cool, but then what else you got?
Right. At the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
This part I didn't really get. It says sex in your 20s, that you love having someone to sleep with because you don't like being alone. I was like, I don't remember that part of my 20s.
Nah, I personally was okay.
Yeah.
You can go.
I mean, I personally still agree with the 2 separate bedroom thing. I mean,
Lucy and Ricky.
and then it says in your 30s, you are more aware of what you want. So, like, you're willing to have, I guess, like, rando sex or, whatever the case may be. It says that you're less shy to, like, to say what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that, I mean, when it comes to, like, actual sex, I guess that makes sense. Like, when you're in your 20s, you may not be like, I like it like this or I like it like that. But in your 30s, you'll be like, I don't like that.
Right.
Stay away from my butt, thank
But
you.
what do you do and what don't you do?
Right.
Let me know now before I waste any more time.
We're not going to DJ Khaled this. Sorry. I don't know how she stays with him. He's not that handsome. It says in your 20s, as far as appearance goes, you want someone who's hot, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then in your 30s, you want someone who has character. For passion, it says in your 20s, you want like a fiery connection. And in your 30s, you prefer someone who's softer desire that lasts. I don't know.
Because I guess passion can be short-lived.
Right.
So the passion's not going to last if all those other things aren't coming into play.
Right.
Yeah.
It says in your 20s, you're quick to think that marriage could be in the cards for you. And then when in your 30s, you take more time to, like, pick somebody to settle down with. I don't know if I thought about marriage in my 20s.
I didn't. Nowhere
No.
near. I don't even want to be married. I don't want to be in a relationship.
Right.
Like, you shit, come over, chill, and go on about your business.
April was Netflixing and chill before Netflix.
Yep. You come over. Then
She
go
was
on.
blockbustering and chill. Just like
Cable and chill.
cable and chill.
This is back when cable was good.
And cheap.
Yeah.
And affordable. Direction, it says when you're in your 20s, you want somebody who has like similar interests to you. And then when you're in your 30s, you want someone who has like the same goals as you. That kind of makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. But I think you want all of this stuff.
It's still in your 30s, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you want somebody with character, but it helps if they're hot, but it's just not all about them being physical, all about the physical.
Right.
It just matters less.
And I think, like, if somebody has different interests of you in your 30s, like, it's almost like your reprieve. You know what I mean? Like, like, let's say your boyfriend goes and he, like, has in a basketball league or whatever the case may be, something that you're not into.
Right.
And he goes and does that, like, on the weekends or a couple hours a night, whatever. You're like, all right, this is my time to, like, catch up on my whatever.
Right.
Love and hip-hop. That's what I do. Sorry. I'm not proud. But I do. It says acceptance. In your 20s, you strive for a better body and attitude, so you'll be more accepted. And then it says in your 30s, you know your prospective partner will love you for who you are. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you start. I think you. That's part. I guess part of their character. You probably look for somebody who's not shallow.
What's this movie with the girl from Titanic? Oh, that's not her. It's not the girl from Titanic. Something Diary. Bridget Jones's Diary.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a meme and it says, "And yes, I will always be a little fat."
But it's like, I guess that's part of looking at somebody's character. Like, is this somebody that's only going to love me and stick around as long as I'm slim and in shape? Or is this somebody that if I do gain a little weight or whatever, they're going to be cool with it?
Right. In your 20s, as far as commitment goes, you want someone who's caring. And then in your 30s, you want someone who keeps caring. I don't know what the difference is.
Maybe a caring person, you're a caring person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, like, I don't know. I was thinking about, like, people I dated in high school. Like, I dated this guy who, like, used to bring me, like, garlic bread and, like, stuffed monkeys every day to school. But he, like, would cut school so he can come see me after school.
That's
like, he was
hilarious.
a really caring person. But
Where did
like,
he get garlic bread from?
I don't know, some, like, local Italian place. And then, like, if my friends would be like, "Oh, can I have some?" Then he'd bring them some. I don't know. But then he's
bring
like,
no pasta with it, nothing.
No, just garlic bread. It's so weird. It's like I was getting so fat then. Like, my boyfriend feeds me garlic bread and empanadas. But then, like, not that he's not a caring person now, but, like, it's just, like, the person he grew up to be. Like, you're just kind of like, not somebody who I, like, would have dated now.
Right.
But, like, then I was like, oh, my God, he's so adorable. Even though he cut every day at school.
Maybe he was doing it for acceptance, and now,
right,
you don't give a rat's ass.
right. Which is like when I work with like my young kid, I'm just like, he's gonna be nice to you now, but it's not gonna last forever. In your 20s, it says love is a verb. You want someone to love, and then in your 30s, it says you want someone who knows how to love. Makes a little bit of sense.
It's just like a deeper connection.
Yeah. Because I think in your 20s, there are, like, there's a less probability of you having, like, hard times. You know what I mean? Like, in your 20s, everything's, like, carefree. And unless something, like, tragic happens in your family and that person has to, like, be there for you.
Right.
Like, then everything is, like, kind of carefree and, like, on the go.
And, yeah, I haven't really experienced
life, anything.
Right, yeah.
Like, what are you going to do when the lights get cut off?
You love everybody different.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's about, sometimes people like, did you love that person more than me? Sometimes I don't think you can, like, love has quantities, but you just love everybody because everybody's individuals.
Right.
So I think it's about loving everybody different. Like, you can't do the same thing with your new person that you did with your ex.
Right.
Or the same, you know.
It says in your 20s, you're blinded by love as far as friendship goes. In your 30s, you value relationships that come from a solid friendship. So I don't know if that's...
What was that one?
It says in your 20s, as far as friendship is concerned, you're blinded by love. And then in your 30s, you value relationships that come from a solid friendship. So I think what they're saying is, like, when you're in your 20s and below, I guess, like, you're just like, oh, I love this person.
Right.
But then, like, you actually, when you're in your 30s, you actually, like, build a friendship with them.
Yeah.
And not so much just, like, this is my boyfriend. Yay. Growing together in your 20s, you want someone who's enjoyable. And in your 30s, you want someone who makes you better.
Because I guess I can kind of see a distinction in that, because part of somebody being enjoyable is possibly them not being, like, necessarily telling you the raw, honest truth.
Right.
Like, or anything that may upset you or get you mad, as opposed to somebody that's helping you grow is just going to...
That makes sense.
Give it to you. They just going to give it to you.
Right.
You can get mad, like, because I got to a certain point, too. I'm like, listen, I love you. I'm telling you the truth. If you get mad, you get mad. It is what it is. Listen, this is, you know, I'm the one that has to tell you. You get mad, you get mad. You'll be all right. Because that's really, I mean, you need that person. People want all of this laundry list of things in a partner, but it's certain things you need. And I don't think everybody always puts that on their list of character and quality and all these things they want in a partner. You need somebody to be honest with you.
I always said that was the one thing that I learned from Brooklyn, and even though, like, it didn't it wasn't nice for me, and I didn't like heed to anything he said. But like the honesty part of things like made sense, and it wasn't like, so at the end of the day, not that I can't say like I blamed him or didn't blame him, but like he told me straight up, like, I don't love you. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if I know how to love. And maybe he was right, because now he's like with fiance and child and still posting about that. He wants to like off himself. So I mean, maybe he had a point.
Yeah, and maybe it's some deep-seated issue in him that he was able to say, hey, listen, I don't have no, sometimes Maya Angelou said, when people tell you who they are, show you who they are, believe them. Yep.
That always scares me. I try to use that like against my boyfriend sometimes. Then he's like, I just need time. I'm like, that's not what Maya says. Apparently I don't read enough. I'm like, Maya says I should believe that you're terrified. And I believe it. And then I believe you're never going to get over it either.
I'm like, how much time exactly?
Right. My mom called me yesterday. She's like, where's your boyfriend? Are you guys getting married soon? I'm like, Mom, I don't know. She's like, well, tell him a shit or get off the pot. We're not going to live forever.
You should tell her straight up, no. We're not getting married anytime soon. What do you think of that?
Damn. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, you're not making this easier. And then my dad's in the background. Leave him alone. You're going to scare him. I was like, said the guy who was married 3 times. This says about responsibility. In your 20s, you want someone who gives you a thrill. In your 30s, you want someone who has their life together. Why can't you have both?
You can. There's balance in everything.
Yeah. But I guess it makes sense. I mean,
like, I just think maybe in your 30s, you want less of it, or less, you put less focus on it.
Right.
But you don't completely say, like, oh, I don't want anybody thrilling or anybody that's going to, like, take me somewhere and surprise me and have fun.
I'm sure this was, like, written by somebody our age, because I also read something the other day that, like, millennials don't go out at all. Like, they just don't do anything.
Yeah, they're very Wi-Fi, social media, talking on the whatever headset on the Xbox. Yeah.
I'm like, who's even at the bars and clubs anymore?
And what's the millennial age range from? Because I saw something one time that said born after 1982, and I was like, I am not a millennial. I had a totally different view of what that is, and I did not include myself in it.
I don't know what the exact age range is, but I don't believe 82 would even count.
Thought it was people born in the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I think. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, 90, coming of age in the 2000s somewhat.
For the purpose of the show, when we talk about millennials, that's who we're talking about.
We are not talking about anything before 1990.
Right.
Don't put us in that.
Because people were like, oh, you guys had the internet. I'm like, yeah, we had the internet, but it was a struggle. Like, it wasn't even worth it half the time.
Right. We had the internet when it was, like, starting out.
Right.
That shit was still an experiment. Like, redialing, time number 15. Like, what?
Like, this time it might connect. I might be able to get into that chat room.
We had, like, 30 wires. Like, come on.
If your mom picked up the phone, it just conked it all out.
Yeah, we had that. The internet was an experiment when we was coming up. It wasn't all tech savvy like it is now.
So it says, in your 20s, you're most likely to give an ex another shot. What? In your 30s, you know a clean break is usually best.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. What if you give somebody another shot from your 20s in your 30s? I don't know if that works.
They probably would really have to have
Not
themselves
that I'm having
together.
thoughts.
They probably would really show some type of change.
Yeah.
I think in your 20s, you more sort of like give the person another shot without them having kind of proven themselves, and then in your 30s, you're like, what you doing different? What's up?
Right.
What's different in your life?
Some people have like completely changed their entire life around. You're like, oh, okay. Follow through. In your 20s, you want someone who makes you happier. In your 30s, you want someone who keeps you happy. I don't really think happiness is anybody else's job.
Not at all.
And I think that's a big misconception.
And it's something you learn in your 30s.
Yeah.
You got to make yourself happy, the other person make themselves happy, and y'all meet.
They
in the
shouldn't be
middle.
making you unhappy, though.
Right.
Like, they shouldn't be doing things to cause aggravation or... I mean, everyone gets on your fucking nerves, let's be honest.
Right.
But, I don't know.
Or disappoint. Maybe not unhappy. Disappoint you.
Right.
They shouldn't be disappointing you.
That's that article. I'll post that on the website. There was one article, according to Men. I didn't read it. Male Reddit openers. I don't get Reddit. Men say that sex is better. Wait, hold on. I should really read the... Dating in their 30s versus their 20s. Dating in their 30s was a much more pleasant experience. Why? Because sex is better. True compatibility matters much more. Rules and games get thrown out the window, and everyone is better off for it. Everyone is more independent, which makes it easier to know if a relationship is right. Communication is stronger. Well, thank you, men, for that input.
This is in the 30s?
Yeah, like they feel like dating in your 30s is better for those reasons.
Because I feel like naturally, I mean, I think it's okay to expect people in their 30s to be on a different level of maturity, a different level of thinking, different, more goal-oriented. Like, I think it's fair to expect that from people, even though you're not going to get it from everybody. Everybody's not on that. Some people still, they 35 and act like they're 22. So, but I think it's fair to expect it when you're dating and you go on it. Like some people say dates are an interview. Yeah, it is. Sorry. First dates suck. Kind of can suck. Or be uncomfortable or awkward or feel like you can ask a billion and one questions.
Where did you go on your first date? I knew you left me and I was like, oh my God, was she kidnapped?
Oh, I think we were just sitting talking.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we were just sitting talking.
What happened? I was just like...
That was like our first time meeting like in public because we started online. So that was like our first public. But I think then we might have went to, like when we first went to eat. I feel like it was Red Lobster, but I'm not sure. But like a few days later or the next week, we went to a restaurant and ate. But that day we didn't go. We just sat.
I don't think people should go to the movies. Definitely not.
No.
We went to Starbucks.
Some activities where you can talk. And yeah.
It must have been a warm February. Is that possible?
On a Sunday afternoon.
No, because it was definitely February. And we were sitting outside. Till like after it closed, and then it started to like rain. And I was like, all right, we should probably go. Like, what now? But I remember the second date we had, we only like went to eat. And then like there was no plans for after. And I was just kind of like, all right, this is weird. But I did like how it was like a hibachi thing. And like there was like people there. And there was like another like older couple next to us. And like he was like chit-chatting with them. And I was like, oh, he's sociable. Good.
That's a good thing not to show somebody necessarily on purpose.
Right.
But, it's good to learn that you're not dating somebody who doesn't.
I obviously didn't care about that in my 20s, as you experienced. April's first run-in with Brooklyn was not
a wave.
It was a wave.
And a nod. It's like, then your roommate came and he was like, he introduced himself. I'm like, is there some normal man in this house? What is going on? I'm like, oh, okay, this one's nice.
Yeah, he was weird.
But I think, too, it's interesting, like, the people who didn't get to date and party and go out and hang out in their 20s and then they're in their 30s and they try to relive it.
Right.
That's strange. Like,
or their 40s.
Yeah, and or they had like kids really young, so they didn't experience going out and doing that whole thing. So now they're dating, but they're dating like inside out, upside down, reversed.
I also read something somewhere that there's like a really high like influx of older people getting STDs because I guess like they're, I don't know, it's like what is that, the baby boomer generation, that they kind of didn't grow up in the age generation or anything like that, and they were married or whatever before. Now they're thrown back out into the dating field, and they're like, we can put our dick in anything like we used to in the 60s. And then they're like, not so much. I don't remember, I'd have to look it up. But one of the episodes, we had a lady come on, and she kind of talked about dating for older people. And she mentioned that as well, that like it is kind of a thing that, you know, women are just kind of like, I don't know, lubing it up and going out there. Just like throwing caution to the wind.
Wow. And that's like, I don't know, that's strange in my mind to hear that older people, I would think older people would be more cautious.
I don't think
apparently
they care.
Not. Yeah. Or maybe they never got an STD, so they're not.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people never got one, but they're still afraid to get one. But maybe they just, like, honestly don't. Maybe if they're dating people their age, they assume that person doesn't sleep around.
I think, and also it's something I think we grew up with, like, as a fear. You know what I mean? Kind of like with
because
smoking.
That
like, we knew
was
smoking
going
was
on
bad.
Yeah.
Like, we grew up knowing smoking was bad. It wasn't a secret. It's on the fucking package.
Right.
Like, so we grew up knowing that, like, if you have unprotected sex, like, baby's, like, the least of your fucking worries.
Right.
So I don't think they grew up like that. So now that they're back out at it, they're just like...
And I can imagine them assuming, like if you 45 and you meet somebody else 45, and you're like, oh, this person doesn't sleep around. They're freaking 45. Like,
right.
But
45, you have to remember, 45 is not that old
it's
anymore.
Not right. But it's not 55. Young. It's not, well, right. Yeah. But it's not like they're like, you know.
Because I wonder if people
at
like
the teeny bopper club just
right.
doing everything.
I don't know. I wonder if people in their 50s or their 60s are like looking to resettle down, or they're just looking for like a companion, like a life companion.
I would imagine I would imagine some people, if they've been divorced and divorce didn't go well, that they're kind of like mad, a little shaky about marriage, and they're kind of like, I just want a friend.
Like my friend's dad passed away when we were in college, and her mom was like, that's the only person I was ever with. You know, I'm never going to be with anyone ever again. I'm just like, damn.
Wow.
You know, like, that's dedication. I mean, obviously all the kids are older now. It's not like they'd be like upset about it.
Right. I can imagine it's scary too.
Yeah.
Like for so many years, like have gone like 20, 30 years married to somebody. You're like, what? Like if I do meet somebody, what am I going to talk about? Like what?
Right.
I mean, I guess it depends on your personality too.
Yeah.
Because, I can see. Like Bernie Mac's wife, for example. Bernie Mac, the comedian, his wife. She was with him since she was like 16.
Wow.
And she remarried like 5 years later. And I guess, you know, she seems like she kind of has the personality maybe. Like she just got used to having
someone around.
Yeah, not that she doesn't love the guy. But, I mean, maybe the guy understands. You can hear in her voice she still misses her husband.
And you have to think about it too. Like, if you were with somebody since you're 16 and there was no, like, extramarital or extra relationship affairs or anything, you've only been with that person, like, a very large part of your whole life. And, you know.
It's all you know.
Yeah.
That's not, but I mean, as far as relationship, love, a man or woman, that's all you know is that person when it comes to that. Yeah.
I don't know.
But I guess it depends on your personality too. Like some people like I have to go on living. Some people just and some people's like I'm gonna go on living, but like to a certain extent because I don't have this person.
Right.
So I'm kind of like stuck a bit, or I'm just gonna stay here, right here. And some people's it's like I gotta go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah.
So you were saying before, like dating, I guess, outside of your pay rate, or because you said rich or poor. Or...
Oh, yeah. Like, you know how some people... Well, I actually met a girl, and she was telling me and the other lady in the office, and it's funny because I kind of read her as that. I feel bad. But just the way she was dialed up, and I just judged her. I felt bad. But I was like, should I feel bad if I was right? I don't know. But she was, like, talking about how her fiance, and no offense, but when I saw his name, he had Indian name.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he probably an older man with money.
Was she Caucasian?
Dominican.
Okay.
And they lived in, a high-income area. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, he probably an older man with money.
Mm-hmm.
and she,
She's in for it.
doing her thing with all her, and then she went into how her mother always told her to get somebody with money, and if it don't work out, you could just get a divorce and collect alimony,
Oh
and
my God.
find an older man with kids. So if he older and he already got kids, you don't have to have none and get fat. And if you do end up getting pregnant, he got money.
Why would she tell people this?
I don't know why she chose to tell us, but she was like, if my mother always said, if you do, and I don't know if the mother said this, but she said, if I do end up having a kid, he has enough money that I can get my liposuction and whatever else
Jesus.
done to. And me and the other girl was just sitting there like, with our mouths open, like, what? But when I was looking at her emergency contact and it said fiance, and I saw that name, I'm like, that's probably an older man living in this house by himself, and a little young girl came and flirted with him, and he just. But it's almost like when living that lifestyle comes with its perks, but it also comes with
a downside.
Yeah, that's why it's like maybe it's all right for you to live like that, but that's when you said what's good for the goose is not necessarily good for the gander. It's like maybe you're good with that lifestyle, just sitting,
right,
being a housewife, perhaps collecting, got you a card, you just swipe. But that life is not for everybody, because everybody's not going to follow the rules. There's rules.
Oh, yeah.
When you don't work really, or you work when you want to work, or work the hours you want to work and you're getting taken care of, there's rules that come along with that. Like, right. I don't think there's anybody who can honestly say, my husband takes care of me, he has money, and I do whatever I want, and he just sit back and
chills.
Wait for me to do whatever. Like, there's rules. Like, women, your husband paying for everything, he's rich. There's a certain level of obedience that comes along with that, I think.
Dinner. Mm-hmm. Dressing nice. Get your hair, your nails done, I'm sure.
You gotta keep yourself up. You gotta kind of do what he say.
Listen,
you're not contributing.
If I didn't have to work and all I had to do was cook dinner and go to the gym all day.
Right. And that's what a lot of women probably do. Right. They keep their body. Like, when you look at some of these moms that say, oh, I look like this after a baby. You can too. How many hours a week do you work? Right. Do you have a nanny? Like, what's really going? You have a personal trainer? What's really going on here? Like, but I think there's a certain level of there's some rules that come along with that, unspoken or unspoken. Right. And I don't think everybody realized that. They just think, oh, he got money, I'm gonna be living good. Mm-hmm. Not if you don't. I mean, I think there's a level of control that come with it too. Even when you're a woman with money and you're dating a man that doesn't make as much money as you, she the head of the household. Decisions, she gonna make executive decisions. Right. Your husband gonna make executive decisions, and you gonna either go along with it. What other say so do you really have? Because you don't pay nothing. Yeah. I mean, so if you don't work, you don't eat. So you're going to work somehow. It may not be a job, but you're going to be in that house doing what the person say, man or woman. And I think people, when they're younger, they couldn't, like, I don't know. I just could never imagine a life like that. But I've heard people say, like, even now, like, people, my friends who are, like, almost 40, say, like, oh, I wish I just could, like, be a housewife. Mm-hmm. Like, I know work sucks, but, like, are you ready for that? What comes along with that, though? You think it's just sitting on the home watching, like, rest Jerry, and relaxation? Not, like, it's not. Because then you got to deal with too, like, because I kind of think about how would I feel if I work for 8 hours and I come home and the person just chilling with their feet up. Right. I don't want to see that. No, I can't. And not even because it's a man. Like, even if the place is spotless, I can still hear myself like, what the fuck did you do today? Like, why? Like, I shouldn't even have to shower myself. Like, I should just stand here and get sponged. And because it's like you come home tired as hell, and this person rest and relax and no bags under their eyes, and you're like, what the fuck did you do today? You ain't do nothing productive. Like, I can see that conversation happening, and that's where it gets. Sometimes, like, I had a friend. She was a housewife for a little while, and I said to her, you should get a little part-time job. Just to, okay, if you just sit the money in an account.
Or
You should
shoe
get
wax.
because they weren't by no means nowhere near rich. They were in a little small apartment. She's on a second child, so maybe you should. And there was they got into it. First thing out the husband's mouth, I pay the bills in here. It's my house. And it's like, it kind of is. It's messed up the timing he chose to say it.
Right.
But kind of.
If it's facts.
Yeah, it kind of is his house. I mean, it's all y'all house. But when somebody's paying for everything,
right,
they get mad. It's my house.
Right.
I mean, that's, So sometimes, even if you just contribute a little bit, that's just the mentality when people are tired and overworked and stressed out. And I guess rich people get stressed out too. And,
April said it like she doesn't really believe it.
Like, maybe not about money, but I guess when it comes to time, like not having time to do things, it stresses people out, even when you're rich. So, because if you're rich, you got to work for it. You ain't rich by sitting home. Yeah, so I can see where that stresses people out. And here comes the argument. And the main argument is going to be, I do all this work and you do nothing.
I saw an ad on like the Facebook Marketplace. It was like, I have a family of 8. There's 8 of us all together. And I'm looking for someone to cook meals every day. Like, you can cook them at your house and my house. Like, I prefer my house because I'm okay with the mess. And I was just like...
Cook meals for the family?
Yeah.
Like their private cook?
Chef, yeah.
Wow.
I was like, I don't know anything to make for 8 people other than pasta, number 1.
Right. A big ass pot of rice and some big chicken legs.
Right. I'm just like, do you want like appetizers? And like, no, she's like, what do they do that they have money to like pay for a cook?
And it said for 8 people?
Yeah, she like, well, she has, it was her husband, and she has like 6 kids or something. Or like 3 of them are old, 3 of them are young or something like that.
Wow.
And I was just like, and I went and looked at their Facebook page. You got to dig in a little bit.
Right.
And I'm just like, it don't look like you're like a CEO of anything.
Maybe the person got money. Maybe I guess you're not living in, not picking up the kids, driving. You're not doing no nanny activities. You're just cooking.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, I don't know. My grandma might could do that for them about $1,000 a month. Like if you divide, and they want it every night.
I think so.
Because if you,
I don't know if it was just dinner or all meals.
Because if you figure you cooking 200, I mean, it's 2 hours a day, and you charge them $100 an hour,
right?
Or even $50 an hour, and you figure you stay 2 hours and cook,
right? Are
that's
they
$100 a day.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just like, does it have to be good food? Like, can I make mac and cheese for everybody?
Right. Pour a whole bunch of boxes of Kraft in the pot and stir all that powder
with a thing of butter.
Big ass pot of stew.
Dinner is served.
Mm-hmm. Somebody make them from some stew.
I don't like chopping the vegetables. I'd be like, we're eating the frozen ones that are already chopped.
Pour them all in there.
Like we're having
big ass meatloaf,
crock pot meals every night.
Big ass meatloaf.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Wow.
But it's just like, who has the money for that?
Yeah.
It doesn't have much to do with dating, other than the fact that if you've dated, now you have a huge family and you can afford a chef. Good for you.
Yeah.
Maybe you did the right thing. Well, so the podcast now. Do you have anything else to say about the dating and the?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we just chit chat about it. So the podcast now is, I don't know if it's gonna change. I don't know what's gonna really happen to it. If you have any suggestions or thoughts or ideas, you can write in and tell us. The format's gonna be just kind of free for all here. That's pretty much what happens. Which is most of my conversations with April. I'll call up and be like, "Hey, did you see this?" And then like, we're like, "Do you know?"
But it'll probably have like, even though it'll probably just a structure or slowly form.
Yeah. But if you're somebody who doesn't like change, buckle up. Buckle up, Buttercup. We're going for a ride. So what we say we're going to talk about next week, maybe, possibly, the
women who attracted to sexist men.
Who are attracted to sexist men. So if you are a woman who is attracted to sexist men, if you think that like when guys act like that, you're like, it's kind of hot. You can write to us at bedlovebeyond@gmail.com, Or if you're a guy who is super sexist, or I don't know if guys know they're sexist.
I think some do.
Sirs.
Or they know they have views that could be considered sexist by other people.
Right. So if you think that you are a sexist man and you have no problem getting women, you think that they flock to you, also write to us at bedlabeyond@gmail.com. So we're going to talk about that. If you have any other topics that you want to explore, or you have any questions you want to ask, or get some advice from me and April. April gives really good advice. I didn't listen to any of it, but that is irrelevant. She does give really good advice, though.
Definitely write us.
Yeah, so if you have a topic you want to explore, you can write us at bedlabeyond@gmail.com, or you can text us at 201-862-8BED, which is 201-862-8233. Haven't gotten a voicemail yet. If you do, send us a voicemail and we will play it on the show. Thank you for listening to us on Podbean, iTunes, Podbean. Oh, I don't know why I say that. iTunes, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. You can rate, review, and like and subscribe to us at any of these devices that you listen to. You have our Gmail. We're at bedlabeyond.com. I'm trying to get on Reddit, but I don't understand it. So if anybody has any tips. If anybody has any tips or tricks, hit me up on IG or Facebook because I don't get it. They're kicking me off. And we're at Facebook at facebook.com/bedlabeyond. And on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter at bedlabeyond. And April, where can everyone find you? Because April's still going to be doing her stuff, and we're just going to kind of like incorporate it all together.
I'm on Miss April Speaks on Instagram. Miss April Speaks at gmail.com. Miss April Speaks on Facebook and Twitter. I don't tweet that much. I should start. But on Twitter, too.
I don't get tweeting. So, and for everyone who followed us on Twitter, thank you, and I will do my best to keep up with it. Martini was kind of the Twitter master, and I just don't get it. But I'll try. I am going to try. So, I don't know. Someone said we should hire an intern. Do you want an intern for Ben Live Beyond?
For free?
Yeah, free. Interns are free.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining us. Welcome, April. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, it sure will.
And that's about it. Take care.